What's up guys, it's Justin from Elite Man Magazine, and in today's video I want to talk about you finding your purpose in life. And I was just going through a minute ago the single greatest self-help book ever written, and that of course is Elite Mind. And there are a ton of different chapters in the book. We cover all types of different things: anxiety, depression, confidence. But one of the chapters that just stuck out a minute ago, and that actually was one of my favorite chapters writing, was the chapter on having a purpose. And unfortunately in life, however, most people go through life without having a purpose. They kind of just aimlessly wander about, and whatever type of way the wind blows is kind of how they head in life. And they don't have a goal. They don't have a prize that they're trying to seek out. They don't have something that they're actually, shooting for and aiming for in life. They're just going in any type of direction. And these unfortunately are the overall majority of people. Probably 95% or so of the population is this type of person. Now, there's nothing really wrong with these people as far as, their character goes, or their personality goes, or their values or the morals go. There's a lot of I know a lot of these people. There's a lot of great people that have this type of mindset. But you, being a watcher of this channel and of these videos, are not one of these people. I'm going to venture to guess that anyways. I don't think you're one of these types of people that just doesn't really want to have an elite life, that doesn't want to take their life to the next level. I think actually, contrarily, that you are the type of person that wants to take your life to the next level, wants to have that elite life, and wants to be that elite man that I always talk about and describe in the podcast and on the website. And if that is you, you definitely want to stick around and hear what it is about finding your purpose, how to go about finding your purpose and having that type of direction, having those types of goals that can actually change your life and lead to the type of life that really fulfills you. Now, I want to make sure I get this absolutely correct, because there's a lot of things in the chapter, but I want to get this one thing specifically right when it comes to actually finding your purpose, because there's so much that actually goes into it. And I think a lot of times people talk about purpose and they kind of throw it around, but they don't really get into the details of what it is or how to actually have or find your purpose. And the first step, by the way, is finding your purpose. So ask yourself questions like these ones. What are my favorite hobbies? When do I feel most alive? What challenge or activity have I always wanted to try? How can I make an impact in the world? How can I help others and be fulfilled? How can I help myself? What areas of my life do I want to truly master? What do I want to achieve in the next 2 years, 5 years, 20 years? What do I want my legacy to be one day when it's all said and done? Ask yourself, and I just dropped the whole chapter, that's great, but I didn't need it anyways because that's all I wanted to read. Ask yourself these types of questions, and when you do ask yourself these types of thought-provoking questions, you're going to get some of these things rattling around in your brain. Some of the things that really stick out about really what fulfills you and energizes you and excites you when you get up in the morning, when you do different activities. What's the thing that really charges you up? Because if you don't have a purpose right now, if you don't know what your purpose is right now, the chances are you're not really thinking of these types of questions. You're not living your life trying to seek out what your purpose is. You're kind of falling into the category of the other people, the 95% of people, and just sort of wandering aimlessly without a direction. And if you want to find your purpose, you got to start thinking about these types of things. You got to start thinking about what really excites you, what fulfills you, what are those things that you've tried in the past that you had a real interest in but you never really were able to pursue. What are the things that really make an impact to you personally that you want to see changed in the world, or changed in your immediate environment, or changed with your family, or changed with yourself, like a personal goal? What are the things that you've been wanting to do for a while that you haven't been able to do? All of these types of questions you should start thinking about, because they will invoke the type of answers that can lead you down the path of finding your purpose. So brainstorming all these types of things and coming up with those things mainly that excite you and that interest you, and maybe that you haven't done in forever, or that you maybe wanted to try in forever, or maybe you haven't done in a long time and you want to go back and actually give it a good try now and really follow through on it. Those are the types of things that you want to start doing. And once you start figuring out like what you want to at least try and what really excites you and fulfills you or could potentially fulfill you, then you want to take the next step, which is actually committing to that challenge, or committing to that passion, or whatever it is that comes to mind, that thing that you're thinking about, whether it be, say, a personal goal or a business goal or a relationship goal, whatever it is. You want to commit to that after after doing a brainstorm and figuring out what is that thing that you want to try out. Now, maybe it's not going to be the thing that you ultimately decide is your purpose and you're going to dedicate the next 2 to 5 years to, but at least you can start trying things out and start checking things off the potential boxes of what your purpose is going to be. Because if you're wandering through your days and you have absolutely no direction, we need to find you some direction. And the best way to find you direction is to start rattling off these different things that are in the back of your mind that you haven't thought about before, you haven't thought about in a while, and start going after those types of things. Just knocking one thing down after the next until eventually something's going to click and you're going to be just feeling amazing about what this thing is, and you're going to be motivated to do it, you're going to be inspired to do it, you're going to feel energized to do it, and guess what, you're going to start doing it. So that step number one is rattling these things off, brainstorming it. Then step 2 is picking one of these things and trying it out and actually committing to it. You don't have to commit to it for the next 5 years, but committing to it to a sort of short-term goal. Like it could be, say, a month long or 3 months long or 6 months long, and trying it out. Like if your goal is to lose 50 pounds, you can commit to doing that in the next 6 months or the next, even 12 months. Or if your goal is to gain, 20 pounds of muscle, you can commit to doing that for the next 3 months and being on a specific diet and going through a specific training regimen. Like whatever it may be, if it's a business goal of gaining 100 or having a 6-figure job in the next, X amount of months, you commit to that for, say, 3-6 months, whatever months it is, and you commit to finding or achieving or bringing up your salary to that level, whatever it may be. These are all different examples of different goals, but you have to commit to it. And then the third step, really the final step, is kind of the cherry on top, and that is following through on that goal and seeing it through. So many people will actually have a goal, they'll have an idea, they'll have this thing, and they'll be motivated for like a week on it, and they think they hit the jackpot and their life is going to change, and then after 7 or 8 days they drop the goal because they didn't see results, they got a little bored, they got distracted with Netflix, they didn't follow through on their goal, and their goal just became a fantasy. And that's unfortunately what happens to too many people, is their goals become fantasies, they become dreams, they become pipe dreams, and they become lost dreams when they're never fulfilled. So the third and most important step, is the cherry on top, but it is the most important step, is to fulfill that goal, is to follow through, to do everything possible to make that goal a reality, to, even if it doesn't ultimately become your long-term goal, that 5-year thing, the 10-year thing, the thing that's going to change your life, even if it doesn't become that, you have, even if it's a smaller goal of, like, say, a few weeks or a few months or 3 months, whatever, even if it's a smaller goal, you still have to commit and do everything possible to achieving that goal. Even if you fail at it, even if it turns out to be something that you didn't actually love or didn't, inspire you, or didn't motivate, didn't fulfill you, more importantly, in your life, you gotta at least commit to doing it and then actually follow through and take all the actions necessary to do it. Because when you do all the things that you need to do, you're gonna either figure out that you love the thing and it actually is the goal that you want and is the purpose that you have now and is going to change your life, or you're going to figure out that it's not the thing for you and you're going to go back to step 1 and go through the process again and then find the next thing, and eventually you are going to find the thing that is going to change your life, or is going to be your purpose for that period of time. Again, whether it's a year, whether it's 2, 5 years, 10 years, whether it's just 6 months and it's something that you need right now. Because to be quite honest, I've had purposes over the years that have changed. I just don't have one purpose and the rest of my life I'm going to stick to this one thing. If you follow the Elite Man and you followed me at all for the past few years, I've changed and pivoted in my life personally and professionally numerous times now, and that's fine, because in all those times I was doing the thing I loved. I was going after the thing that fulfilled me, the thing that motivated me. And it was this thing, and then it was that thing, and then it was this thing, and now it's this thing, and what I'm doing today. And tomorrow or the next day, it might be something else, but those things, that's fine. It doesn't matter, because those things are all fulfilling to me in that moment. And the same thing can be applied to you. Whether you're doing something completely different, professionally, personally, relationship-wise, doesn't matter. If you're doing something that's fulfilling you, if you're going after something and you're going after that purpose, it's all that matters. Because in that moment, in those moments, in my moments, in moments in the past, and in the moment right now, I have a purpose. And in those moments, you're going to have a purpose as well. So follow through on it and make sure you stick with it. So if you enjoyed this video, like always, make sure you hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram at Justin Stenstrom, follow me on Facebook at Elite Man Mag, M-A-G, Elite Man Mag, and then also follow me on Parler, where I'm posting a ton of uncensored, awesome stuff that's not going to get censored or taken down by Facebook or Instagram.